Hey guys, Asif, and yes, this is former AboveTech Designs, and I've transferred it over to my channel. But let's jump straight to the tutorial. Today we are going to do some cool color splash effect, which is going to look like this. I'm also going to teach you how to make the text appear behind the leaf. So yeah, we are going to take a brief look at it. We'll be going into a more deep tutorial later on, but now it's color splash. So what you need to do is open up your image. I have this cool image of a leaf over here which I grabbed over from stocksnap.io, for which I'll be leaving the link in the description. You need to grab the quick selection tool and select as accurately as possible parts of the leaf or parts of the object that you do not want in black and white. You can do it either way. You can select the things you want in black and white or the things you don't want in black and white. For now, I'm going to select the leaf which I do not want in black and white. So yeah, you see all those plus and minus signs on the top. You select it, press the refine edge tool, and then you do this. You move the cursor over the edges of the leaves or over your edges of the selection, and the refine edge command automatically makes it look better, makes a better selection. So this is going to be very useful if you're going over very rough edges or hair and stuff. And yes, this is a very accurate tool and I've found myself using it a lot. So I'm basically rubbing over the edges and you see it automatically makes corrections. And yeah, I have a few dumb selections at the top. I'm going to remove those later. Okay, now you see I have the selection. Now what I need to do is head over to layer, adjustment layer, and choose the black and white adjustment layer. Now you see the leaf has become black and white. What you need to do is press Ctrl I, selecting the mask so that it becomes leaf, and then you go over to the brush tool and paint the areas that you do want in black and white as white color. So if you want something in black and white, you paint it white in color, and if you want something to be black colorful, you paint it white in color, black in color. So that's what you do to the mask. If you look over to the right, you can understand what I'm doing here. What I'm doing here is I'm painting over white paint to the mask, so I subtract the mask. So I'm basically removing some part of the mask here and selecting the leaf more accurately because I had some rough edges before. There are a few other ways to select a thing. One of the ways is if you go over to the select tab at the top and then choose the color range option, which is not working for me but it used to, and it is a really good option if you had an image which had the same color all around. So I'm going to choose a good opacity over here to reduce the black and white effect a bit, and I'm going to add a new hue or color balance layer, and no, not hue or saturation, it really ruins the image. I'm going to go with a color balance layer. Let me delete the hue and saturation and go with a color balance layer or a curves layer. Okay, maybe a curves layer, and then increase the greens. Yeah, just do whatever you want. It's according to the image. You just reduce and increase the reds and the blues and the yellow greens in the image so it looks better. For me in this image I need the most reds because it's an orange leaf. And I'm going to delete the existing layer mask of the curves layer and add a new layer mask by control clicking on the previous mask and selecting the mask option down below, and then pressing Ctrl I to invert the mask. So now you see I have just the orange increased in the leaf. And now I'm going to head over and put some text on it and teach you how to put it behind the leaf. So I'm going to type over leaf and make it bold. By the way, the font I'm using is Roboto, which Google recently made open sourced. So if you want the Roboto font, you can go over to Google and download it. It's an open sourced font recently. It wasn't till now. And yeah, what I need to do is center it up, and I'm going to rasterize the layer. That's an option step, and control click on any of the masks and then press the mask icon on bottom and then control I, and yes, that's what it does. But now I feel like I want to make the text a bit smaller, but as you see, it doesn't work. So what you need to go is go to the history tab and then go back a few steps until it's rasterized, and then reduce the size, which I want to do. And I'm going to reduce the size, and then I'm going to add the new mask. So I'm going to center it up, control click on a new mask and press the mask button on the bottom, control I to invert the mask. Really select a yellowish color. Okay, that looks fine. And now I'm going to change it to overlay so it looks better and more through the image. And I'm going to reduce the fill so the color isn't as visible, and I'm going to add a drop shadow by choosing the effects window and increasing the distance, spread, size, the blend mode, the opacity. It's all up to you. That's what's about Photoshop. You do what you like and it turns up good for your eyes. And yes, I'm going to tweak the shadows a bit. You see, I have the size increased, so I have a soft shadow. So yes, this is what the final image looks like. And if you want to save it, what you do is Control Alt Shift plus S, and that is the hotkey for save web, which saves the image at the best quality possible. Alt Shift Control S, and you can always do the save as command to save it as a normal JPEG. I normally go with saving it as a PNG24 file, and then it looks good. So yes, that's what I have for this tutorial, and yes, thank you for watching, and we'll talk to you in the next one.